Hello, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. If you do, um, this is something a little different than I was going to say the content I make, but I don't really make content anymore. So I guess it's different because I'm doing something. Um, as you can probably glean from the title of this stream, I wrote a book a couple of years ago. Um, I guess calling it a book is maybe generous. It's more of like a novella from the length of it. Thanks for stopping by, Lewis. Reggie, what's up, brother? Tina, hi. Thank you for all coming in and listening to me rant for a bit. I'm going to try to keep this fairly short, but I might ramble a bit as well. Um, I I really enjoy writing. It is a passion of mine, and even though I went to school for visual arts, a lot of times I feel like I enjoy writing more than doing art. Although I suppose writing is a form of art, but you know what I mean, drawing. Um, and so, so a little while ago, I was working on this project where um, it's three stories that are all romances set in genres that don't typically focus on romance. So I did a sci-fi story, a horror story, and a superhero story, and they were definitely those things. Um, but at kind of the heart, excuse the pun, at the heart of things, they were all romances, and they don't really intertwine at all, but they do kind of hopefully complement each other a bit. Um, so yeah, I when I first wrote them, I wasn't really planning on doing anything with them. I was just kind of writing them for fun. And um, I don't, as much as I enjoy writing, I don't really consider myself a writer per se. I feel like I wouldn't even say a pretty good writer. I'm an okay writer. Like I can convey a story um, that you can follow and hopefully is interesting to some people. But I'm not this great writer or anything. But I feel like I maybe created something good enough to. I created a thing, and now that it's created, I feel like I should put it out into the world because it's not doing any good just sitting on my computer. And like I said, I wrote this a couple of years ago at this point, and I've been toying with the idea of doing something with it, but I am very, very hard on myself, and I have a lot of doubt in my own work, as you can probably tell from what I'm saying already. Uh, yeah, Tina said, "You're so hard on yourself." Uh, True. Um, so so I never really invested in doing anything with it because I knew it was going to cost money and I knew it was going to take time, and those were things that I felt like I would lose out on because I was kind of foreseeing the future or fortune telling and assuming that I was going to fail at it. Um, so I kind of talked myself out of doing anything because um, why kind of put this money and this effort into these things that is not going to go anywhere. But at the same time, I kind of recently talked myself into the opposite perspective of, you know, the world could end tomorrow, and what's the point of not? trying to do something you want to do because, if a meteor hits the world tomorrow and I just return to the loam like everybody else, I have nothing to lose. But in addition to the self-doubt, there's also this gnawing feeling of like, oh, everyone thinks that they've got this great novel in them, or they're this, great musician, or this incredible actor. If they just had a chance, maybe they could do something with it. And I'm not saying anything like don't follow your dreams, or that people don't have talent, because certainly they do. And I'm not trying to like dump on somebody for thinking that they want to do something creative. But I just kind of don't want to be one of those people where I am perceived as a doofus for thinking that something I created is worth something to other people. And I know that's like a crazy thought, but it is what it is. So those are all the reasons why Unruly Simeon said, I know for a fact I've got a great nap in me. I can relate to that. Those are all the reasons why I kind of have not done anything with this until this point. But I've recently decided that I'm going to go through with it, and I'm going to try to get it self-published and put on Amazon. I thought about going through Kickstarter, but that is a whole can of worms that I am not sure I'm ready to dive into. If I do get it on Amazon and there's some sort of reception to it, I might end up doing like a Kickstarter for a hardcover special edition, or something like that. But Amazon handles all of the printing and shipping and all of that, so it takes a lot of the work off of my shoulders, and then I just hopefully will get a couple bucks back eventually. So last week I took the first real steps to doing this, and I hired a professional editor to tear my piece apart and let me know of all the stuff I did wrong, so I can try to make it a little better. Because it's at a point where I feel like I could print it and it would be fine and people would hopefully enjoy it. But I don't want to put something out that's okay. I don't want to put something out where someone reads it and says, oh, that was a real missed opportunity if he had just taken a little bit extra time, or not even necessarily someone else. If I go back and reread it at one point and say, oh man, if I had just, once I get some space from it and then I reread it. And, so I hired an editor, which was fairly expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. Who knows if I'll recoup my money, but that's not really the point. It's more about me being happy with what I put out and being proud of something that I created. And in order to do that, I felt like I needed another set of eyes on it. And I've had a couple of friends read it and gotten some positive feedback from it, but no offense to them, they're very smart people, but they aren't professionals. They're just people who enjoy reading, which is valuable feedback as well. But I felt like I needed someone with some knowledge to really pick it apart. So I did that, and the reason why I decided to do this stream is to kind of like not only keep everyone who's interested in my work up to speed with what I'm doing, and to let everyone know, ahead of time, so when it becomes a real thing and it's orderable, it's not just out of the blue and people can kind of hopefully gain some excitement about it. But it's also to kind of hold myself accountable, because if I put this out there and live stream this and put it on YouTube, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, Alec is doing this thing. So, I kind of have to follow through with it. I mean, obviously I don't, I can just blow it off, but I feel like it holds me a little more accountable to myself, and hopefully some other people hold me accountable to it as well. So I don't want to, in this stream at least, I don't want to go too much into what the story's about, because it kind of, I have a really hard time summing up my work a lot of times. I had trouble when I did my comic book, when people would come up to my table and say, hey, what's the book about? I didn't have that like elevator pitch, because I feel like the way I write, a lot of what the story is about is kind of comes about through the story, if that makes sense. Collectible Paper said, will there be a live YouTube reading once it's ready? There are secret unlisted audio readings on my channel already. If anyone can find the URLs through some shady dealings, you're welcome to listen to the first couple pieces of it. Yeah, I tried to do like an audio book just to see. John says, you do shows without me? Yeah. So as I was saying, yeah, so it's kind of hard to sum up what the story's about, but basically it's a superhero story. It's a romance. It's a coming of age story. It's about this kid who gains superpowers, and then it's the I'll work on that. I'll get back to you next time I do one of these. I probably should have done this as like a pre-recorded video, so I could have planned it out a little bit better, but I just wanted to kind of get this out there and kind of just speak naturally, or as naturally as I can speak, and not kind of make this like weird edited message that I can kind of chop up. I just wanted to kind of put out my thoughts about the situation. And I mean, thank you to everyone in the chat who said already that they'd like to order a copy. That that means quite a bit, considering I haven't even really been able to tell you what the story's about. So yeah, I mean, next steps. My editor is going to give me chunks as she goes. So it's not, I don't get it all at once, so I can start working on it as she's working on the next section. So I'm hoping that by the end of the week, I get the first chunk back, and I can start kind of chipping away at some of her edits and see what I want to fix or change. And then I either need to design a book cover myself, which I'm kind of hesitant to do, or hire someone to do it for me, which I'm leaning towards, but have to figure out if I want to spend the money on that, or if I just want to try to do it myself and be critical of the cover as well as the interior work. And then once it's all edited and I have my cover done, I need to format it, or again, pay someone to format it, because you can't just slap a PDF document on Pages. There's like very specific formatting guidelines that they have for printing books, and especially if you want to get it on Kindle, there's a whole different set of formatting guides they need to do. Mix Explain said, put Trent on the cover. That would sell books to a very, very niche crowd for sure. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. I plan on keeping you all updated as I go, and hopefully I'm hoping to release it if my editor keeps to her timeline and I can get the cover ready and everything. I'm hoping to have it ready to go by the end of November. That's kind of my goal. I don't know if that's realistic, but that's kind of what I'm pushing towards for myself. So I have kind of a deadline, so I don't get the edits back and just kind of lazily work on it. I'm trying to kind of push myself to get this done and get this out there as soon as I can. So yeah, thank you all for joining me while I ranted about this. Yeah, Comic Head 84. Well, you and John trash this on book club. Probably. I mean, I certainly would. I have this reputation of being like very, very critical of other people's work. So I expect and welcome the same criticism for my own work. I don't think that I am better than anybody else's stuff. It's funny, like I can point out what I think is wrong or could be improved with someone else's work. And I maybe do that a little harshly and a little too much. And maybe that's why I'm so hard on myself as well. So we'll see if everybody thinks it's a dumpster fire. But if it is, hey, let me know. Call me out on it. So yeah, in the meantime, hit me up on IG if you have any questions for me along the way. But hopefully I'm going to try to do these maybe once a week, just a little short update to let you know how things are going until I actually release it. So thanks a lot. Enjoy your nights. Don't watch the debate. It's going to be a dumpster fire for sure. There's a lot of great streamers on YouTube tonight. I know John's doing a stream. Comic Man Andy's doing a stream. So watch them instead. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Never turn your back on the ocean. Bye.